When it comes to the Quest Pro, we've talked about it before, the amount of light that you can see through the sides when you have it on. And as I've said, it doesn't really bother me, but some of you out there have been looking for more solutions or just curious about what people are coming out with. So Mr. Tass, longtime channel supporter, sent us something 3D printed to see if we can fix the problem. Let's check it out. Now, Nat checked the P.O. box and out of curiosity tore into these like a beast. So the box has been opened. I have not tested them out yet. We got a little note from Mr. Tass, who these were designed for, where you can get the design free on Thingiverse. I'll leave some links in the description to all that. And of course, if you want to buy them printed out to cover the cost, you can buy them on Mr. Tass's website. Now, this is interesting. So when I saw the design, I thought, oh man, these are gonna be like sharp and not feel good. I didn't realize you could print something this flexible with 3D printing yet. We have come a long ways, I've gotta say. Do I see anything that tells me which one is the left or right? I am weirded out by how soft these are. It looks like though, thinking about designs for the Quest Pro lenses, things are gonna have to be soft or flexible because it's hard to imagine how you're gonna make anything stick to this when there's no clip or anything like there used to be on the Quest 2. In my head, for some reason, I was imagining these were gonna be magnetic like the originals, but I guess if they're supposed to be this flexible, you couldn't really make like a hard shell to make them magnetic. I don't know. 3D printing is something I know nothing about besides what people send me. I've never gotten to do it myself. I'm curious to, but I've heard that it's also a lot of work. Now these are only $10 if you buy them printed, or you obviously can print them yourself. I think that's right, it looks right. I might be able to turn it a little bit lower, get a little more intimate of a fit here. But what these are trying to do is these aren't trying to just be like the stock ones. These are trying to replace that one that I didn't really care for. I tried this out to see if it would give me that full immersive experience I was used to, totally blocked off. And what I actually found was once it was on my face, it didn't do a whole lot more than the Lightblockers because I still had this big gap all around my nose. These are supposed to do even better than the full light blocker at a fraction of the cost. So this isn't for people who are fine with these and like these, because obviously it comes with those. These are for people who really want a more immersive experience. I cannot get over how flexible that feels. It's just weird. So the edge, although it's flexible, it doesn't feel sharp, but you do notice that it comes to a ridge. Like it's not uncomfortable, but it feels like if you have the stock one, it feels like if this edge were touching you rather than this rounded edge here that normally touches you. Like you can feel that it's an edge, but it's not terribly uncomfortable. Once you get these on here, right, you kind of have to play around with them a little bit, kind of find that fit. But wow, I've got like almost zero light bleed. It really comes back and covers. The only spot I'm seeing a tiny little bit here, but I think I might be able to just turn these down a bit more. It's so weird. I mean, if 3D printers can print stuff like this now, I mean, they're gonna start to replace the need even for silicone accessories. Boy, that is nearly complete and perfect coverage. I have to like really try to look, and I can see a tiny little bit here, but I have bright lights on me, bright lights above me. In any other situation, I wouldn't notice a thing. What is the cost that comes with though? I can tell you already, something that I have never dealt with on the Quest Pro is my lenses fogging, and they're starting to fog a little bit right now. It's really cold in Oregon, and I did just come over here after a workout in the shower, but normally with Quest Pro, you never ever fog. And because this is creating such a perfect seal around my eye and frankly, no ventilation at all, I'm already starting to fog up the lenses. Lens fog is one of those things about VR that we all hate and can't stand. And when you've used the Quest Pro for a while, you start to forget that it exists. And it's really nice once you forget. And coming back to it all suddenly is a reminder of how annoying it is. But if you absolutely wanted just maximum immersion, no light. Of course, a little bit of this will depend on your face shape and getting it adjusted just right, but I cannot believe how well this is covering versus how these did versus that light blocker that I didn't like. These are really doing it. Now, of course, the Quest Pro has been really good for people with glasses. Will these work at all with glasses? Now, frames, of course, will make a difference. You know, if you had round frames, I think you'd probably be a little more likely to get them in there just right. Maybe those little tiny Harry Potter glasses would fit in there just right, but with my square frames like this, ugh. Well, I definitely have increased the light bleed. There's a little bit in my cheeks here I can see, but I gotta say, for being used to testing glasses in VR headsets overall that normally have normal facial interfaces, these are still pretty good because they're so flexible. Wow. Well, I am surprised by these. I'm gonna go check really quick and see if my code is still working for Mr. Tass. Now, it looks like the code does still work, but since these are already on sale, that is trumping the code. So normally this is $10 for these, but you can get them for $9 on sale. Big benefit that they're advertising, of course, because the full light blocker doesn't do it. No problem charging with this on. So if you get these on, you like them, you get the right fit, you can leave these on theoretically all the time if you're into that. I'm just curious. I'm pretty sure there's no way, but yeah. I was wondering if these would also fit, give you a little extra. Oh, I don't know if the creator meant for this, but they actually fit with the stock light blockers too. So that might kind of get rid of that thing I was telling you about feeling the edge. Let me see. It does take away that edge. It gives you that soft silicone feel instead. And now I can see like nothing out of this. Now that is like maximum immersion mode right there. You put those on, you put these on too, and you don't see a thing. Fog is gonna be an issue. And it charges. I gotta say, good job to the designer. And there will be links if you wanna print these for free yourself if you have a printer. You do have to have that flexible TPU. That is what this is made out of. And if you made it out of hard plastic, which you could probably use the same design and do that, it might be okay if you put these over them and then you wouldn't have that edge kind of cutting into your face there with the sharp plastic. But I am surprised by these. You can adjust the IPD just fine with them on. They move in and out and they feel as good as 3D print can on your skin, but they don't feel bad at all. You can even see, you have to really look. I don't know if you're gonna be able to pick that up, but they rounded the edge in the design here. It's almost like a folded over edge. It's thicker right at the seam, which makes it a little more comfortable too. 3D printing is coming a long ways. I'm impressed by that. So I will leave links in the description to everything. I will leave the JayBratt code down there too, in case by then these aren't on sale, but you do want to get a set for less. Or there's tons of other accessories on Mr. Tass's store. If you haven't checked them out, I would highly recommend checking them out, because even some of the Quest 2 accessories I've been able to get working on the Quest Pro so far, but we'll go over that in another video. Thank you for coming out today, and I will see you in another reality.